Welcome to Tart at the end of the day, episode 27. Wow, we are moving along to a very special 30, but more of that in another time. Our guest today is Mary, who I met in Wanstead when I was joined in a little artist group. We got chatting and had the joy of exhibiting even. And yes, very interesting artist. And please listen with me to my amazing chat with Mary. I always start with the first question, which is, where did your art journey begin?
Right, my journey began. Let's see. It began, I suppose, from when I was very young, and I did a lot of drawing and painting and splashing about. And I came from a family with a whole range of arts in their lives, you know. So the background was there, and it was amazed me, which probably was in a way not such a good thing because it made me lazy.
Really?
I suppose would be the right thing to say there. Yes. And so I had a mother who had discouraged straight lines, so the ruler was banned, and the rubber or eraser, as they say, was banned too. And saucers for circles, draw your own circle. So I was brought up with not doing neat and tidy things, and although I must say one of my favourite activities as a child was, I don't know if you can get them nowadays, painting books where it was painting by magic painting, and they had thousands of little dots on them, and you watered over them, and these very disappointing pale pink and pale green colours. You remember them too? I wonder if they do them still. I don't know. Yes, it wasn't so good as it promised to be, was it? So those were my favourites, really, apart from this, having to do everything freehand. So I think that's held all the way through that freehand thing, because I still feel uncomfortable with terribly neat and tidy work. And I can't do it for myself, but in other people.
Spontaneous if it's got a lot more artistry in it than it being neat and tidy and boxes and lines.
I think so. It makes it sort of more individual. And I see lots of printmakers, there are millions around, aren't there, who seem to almost as if that's the aim for perfection rather than the image that you're, it has to be a perfect image. And,
we're not perfect as people. I can't see why we should make perfect.
Yes, no, you're right there. And but they do, and also the computing, using the computer, it demands perfection, doesn't it, as well? So I always, not for me anyway. I mean, other people did brilliantly with it, but not for me.
Okay, I think
I wouldn't know how to.
No, most of my pictures are of people doing stupid things, imperfect things, if you like.
Yes. No, your work's great at capturing people.
Thank you.
Sort of,
I lurk in the shadows.
You lurk in the shadows, and you get some really good results. So I'm very impressed with that.
That's what it's all about. It's a story, isn't it? In your artwork.
I think the narrative. Yes, I mean I'm a great believer in narrative, and there are things I can't do, for instance, abstract art, because I probably could do it, but it doesn't appeal to me because there's no narrative there. So,
no, there's not.
No story to tell, or you can try get at the story.
I think that allows the purchaser or viewer to make their own story up, then on abstract. But it's a difficult thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm no good at any kind of physical painting or
Are
drawing.
you sure?
I can dabble.
You might be better than you know. I mean, that's
possibly
part of my story is about how, in fact, people are better than they realise.
I used to draw when I was younger.
Yeah.
But I sort of give up because they weren't very good, and found photography instead.
Well, you went in a different direction. That's all, isn't it? Yes, and you found what you really enjoyed.
But so, like, when did you?
I'm good at.
When did you think when did you call yourself an artist, kind of thing?
Oh, well, that's another story. So,
my stories go on.
Because I didn't call myself an artist. They were artists. The people outside me were artists. My family, some of them were painters and artists, and earned money at it, and illustrators and so on. And other than that, there were writers and there were people on the stage too in the musical. They were artists. Yes. So I went. I stupidly for me, I went to art school. I went to Wimbledon School of Art, as it was called in those days, and they had things called pre-diplomas, which was, I suppose, a sort of slightly higher level than the foundation courses you get all over the place there. But you had to go to art school in those days to do these pre-diplomas. And again, I thought artists were then the others, and so we wouldn't occur. I think even the best of us wouldn't have occurred to have called ourselves artists. Yeah. Whereas nowadays, you call yourself artist from age 10 upwards, don't you?
drop a paintbrush on a piece of paper and you're an artist.
Yeah, we're an artist, yes. So I think it's a tricky one, that. But yeah, and we used to rummage through skips to get pieces of wood to paint on, because we had no money and we had a lot of lousy materials. And it wouldn't have occurred. We had a huge open studio for all of us, but I didn't know that people in colleges had little studios later on, and they went into so they were becoming artists, but they still weren't artists. Yeah. So when I became an artist, it was about 50 years on, and I dared to call myself one. There was a large gap of 40 years in between when I was at art school.
Do you think it's a confidence thing?
Confidence is hugely important, I think, to art, and I think that's something. Even though when I was younger, I did an awful lot of stuff that it didn't worry me. You know, I used to go to charity shops, buy an old piece of cloth and chop it up and run it through the treadle machine and wear it. It must have looked awful. So I had that sort of confidence to try anything out, and then going to art school killed it completely. Oh, really? And then life completely did that too, you know. So and I had a hand in it, obviously. I can't blame
No, life does get in the way, doesn't it? So.
Well, it does, and I think they probably still teach in inverted commas in this way nowadays. That a lot of them they don't teach at all. And I still remember the head of the department coming into our studio and announcing the reason we don't teach much or anything is because it's a hard life out there, and this is a school of hard kicks. Oh. So there we were, being taught by drunks, as far as I can see. People who are down the pub the most, most often, and not earning their money. So that's always been a bit of a hobby horse of mine: is earn your money if you're teaching. Yeah. Actually do the job.
Yeah, no, that's right.
There's plenty to learn, plenty you can teach in art. It's not harmful to show people.
No, definitely not.
And you might actually be encouraging some great work.
Encouragement, that's the thing, isn't it? It's apart from showing how to do things possibly, because art is subjective, isn't it? It's just we all look at it differently, but it's the encouragement, I think.
Yes, I think so. But anyway, so I completely lost all confidence, and then life took over, and it went all a bit odd. And certainly, I actually stopped doing art other than doodling. So I doodled my way through office jobs and so on, and but with very good doodles, but no confidence at all in anything else. Although I kept a hand in. I mean, I was thinking about this conversation last night. I was thinking, well, hang on. In the 1970s, he worked in a brewery, and it was just down from the Whitechapel Art Gallery. And I remember popping in and seeing the drawings of David Hockney, and being phenomenally impressed. And I still like his work very much, but extraordinary good drawings, I think, sketches and so on. So I remember that, and I remember also popping into the photographers gallery when I then moved jobs to somewhere else near there, and it was just about opened. I think it hadn't been going for very long, but it was a tiny little place at the time. And enjoying photos, because I like photography, so I enjoyed the work, and it was, of course, in those days black and white. So.
I love black and white.
It was great, and I'm not sure you can replicate it. Do you think with the modern cameras? I think because you got all the grainy papers, and
that's why I use old cameras.
Yeah,
digital ones.
Do you? Yeah,
but because they're not up there. Because I could go out and buy a humongously expensive camera and it'd be sharp, but then that takes it away, like you're saying, the grain and the blur, and that all adds to it.
The rough edge, isn't it? That's so important, I think. Yes,
definitely. My pictures when I take them, they're not perfect. And that again, like we were saying, not being perfect.
Should we aim for perfection or something else? The narrative is the story more.
Let the fashion photographers do the perfection. And,
yes, that's true.
I'm far from perfect, but it's, no.
Yeah, And I used to really love, because in those days we didn't have, didn't have digital, so you could going into the dark room and learning how to take the thing off its thread, and then it was, and the smell, the horrible smell of chemicals, but it was lovely and horrible.
Yeah.
So that pleasure as well
kind of
production process.
mystic to it, the way you put the paper in the valves.
Yes. And you wait to see what happens, and then someone opens the door and you've lost the lot.
Because you don't, you take the picture, you see what you see, but you don't know until you develop it. And that's the magic of it, I think. Yes. Whereas now you click it, you see it.
Yes, no, immediately you see it almost before you've done it, don't you? You look through your viewfinder and that's it.
I would like to do a bit of darkroom work.
No, that's fun.
Yeah, I'll bet.
I'd recommend it. Yeah.
I'll have to set a little darkroom up in here.
Actually, well, I wonder whether they do it over at Bazalgette Way, which is the Lakeside Studios. I have a feeling they have something with photography over there, so it might be worth making contact. Going there and see what they do.
And nick someone's darkroom if I don't get someone to educate me.
Yes,
just another string to the bow. And
well, yes, and another way of producing that you haven't tried out, and you might find it absolutely, even thousands of times more interesting than what your very interesting work is now.
Yeah, possibly.
You just don't know, do you?
No. And I think we're always looking, aren't we?
I think you're always looking, and hopefully always experimenting and trying out, and never quite coming to the conclusion. Well, I've never come to the conclusion anyway, which is why I like David Hockney still, because I think he carries on. I mean, look, he's an old guy now. He can barely walk, I believe, but and as skinny as anything, wearing his silly suits. But still trying out new ideas, and
I don't think we stop.
Intellectual
I mean, do you think you look at the world in a different way to like a person who doesn't have art in?
No, I don't know. I don't know about that, because I was thinking again last night as I was getting ready for this, or trying to think of things to say. was one of my bugbears is when artists, I don't know, I can't even name the artists who do that, but I often read Art Changes Lives.
Yeah.
And I'm not convinced that that's the case. All right, it makes you look at something you've never seen before, but then looking at a rubbish bin makes you look at something you've never seen before, So you don't need art for that. And I don't believe art does change society anyway in one drop, actually. It's an addition to it. It's an it's a great thing, and I wouldn't be derogatory about art. Well, some art maybe.
Well, we like what we like. I mean, some of it.
I don't see it as world changing. I don't see how it can do, and that's where. Even art that's aimed at, say, stopping wars, it doesn't do that. No. It makes you think, yes, that's good, that's very clever. But the war carries on.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yes, all the wars, rather.
Yeah. We don't seem to stop lately. There's
more. No, they're all over the place.
There's more wars than there's ever been, really.
Yes,
it's but I mean, like, you notice more stuff around you. Do you think?
I think so, but with me, it was because when I was much younger, and in school, say, I was very good at observation. I could look at a thing and then go home and do it, draw it, sketch it, paint it, or whatever. Probably not terribly accurately, but I had no serious problem.
Yeah.
But with 40-year gap, that you lose that ability to capture the idea in your head. And I don't think it's just to do with your brain aging. I think it's to do with lack of practice.
Yeah,
and so what I was doing the whole time when I was younger, I found that very hard when I started picking up art again.
Yeah.
To get back into focusing for any length of time. I had terrible trouble with that. But two, having the confidence to paint things that weren't under my nose.
Yeah.
And to actually look and then remember something to take it home.
So you paint from memory rather than going somewhere and staring at it.
I do all of those things. Do it I'm very happy to go and stare at things. I go outdoors a lot, and I do in the summer and stare. And so I find it much easier. I can't use photographs very well because I can't see round a photograph. Okay. To me, it flattens the object, and I can't see what it is. But for some reason, other people can do brilliantly with using. But I do use them for reference. Say a bicycle. If I didn't know how a bicycle worked, I would be happy enough to look at a photograph of the bicycle to see where the pedals went, and and which wheel was what. Yes, yeah. So I do use photographs for that. But no, I actually think looking at real life in one way or another gives you a lot of depth, and there is that thing of I can't see round things, but I can see an awful lot more in shadows and tones and so on.
So do it live.
Yes.
So easel up, sit there and paint away.
Yes.
Yeah, it's nice.
Well, a lot of people come up and chat to you. Sometimes you could kill them.
When you do something.
Oh yeah. They go, "Oh, that's nice, isn't it? I do drawing too." I go, "Oh, thank you very much."
Oh yeah, there's always somebody goes, "Oh, I can do that."
Yeah, but you have to be good to them, and you have to be nice to them because they're being nice to you. You know. So it was only once I was very rude to someone on the beach this year. I was painting, and it was really going comparatively well. But she came up behind me, and she made me jump. And she said, "Oh, I've made you jump," and then laughed. I said, yes, you made me jump. I don't think that's any laughing matter." I was horrible. And I'll tell you what, she sloped off, tail between her legs.
Mark across your work.
Yes. Well, we'll never come and say hello to me again. So I felt terrible about that afterwards, but at the time it was, appropriate, I think. So yes, I mean, going outdoors is great, and it can be smashing to meet people and speak to people. I remember talking to some poor woman who was Chinese, and I thought she was talking in Chinese, but she was talking in English. And I was getting out my Google sort of translator, and trying to speak to her in Chinese through Google. Didn't work very well, but but it was an experience, and so all of these things are experiences worth having.
Put that in your work, don't you? And life, all to do with life experiences and whatnot.
Yes,
we put it in our work somewhere. What media do you use? Anything?
Sorry?
What do you use? Oils?
Right. I'm multi mixed media, I suppose, really, because I also have done, although not for a while, 3D work, and so I watercolor was first. I had this 40-year gap where I worked in other things. Public relations was one of them, and all sorts of bits and pieces that weren't really very good for me, but anyway, I did it, earned money, and when I took it up again, painting, the first classes I went to at, in fact, City Lit, this was for watercolour, because I'd never used watercolour. I'd used oils, probably badly in the wrong way, but acrylics had just come in and were being quite popular when I'd left off, but I thought they were a bit shiny and plasticky. And so I took up watercolour in as my first venture into learning and trying to make up for what I didn't get at art school, which was the whole 3-year degree. I've failed in that, so I wanted to get my work to a standard that would perhaps be comparable to and so I took up watercolour. So that was a new string to my bow. And what I love about watercolour is it's very fluid, and you can break the rules. And a lot of people, when they're not my teachers, but when they were teaching watercolour, I did see some who taught you how to do the flower, and you do a flower this way, and you do a tree that way, and you do, so how to do. And these are some classes, again, lazy teachers, who showed you how to copy. Copy what I do, and they're there. So I threw all of that away. I decided this was a huge problem with watercolour, is that people, it is a difficult medium until you let go. And I think you've got to let go with it and splash about. And so I splish splash, sort of don't worry about the lines. Lots of people draw very definitive sort of sketches, and then they fill in the colours afterwards.
Have you got to get the consistency right, or is that doesn't matter?
Well, it's layers, I think, is the thing, because you can do it very thinly with watercolour, just a tiny daub of colour and lots of water, or apply it thickly. So what I tend to do is put a very, I'd never draw. I'm trying to think, is that true? No, I never draw a thing out first, and I use a paintbrush. And I usually use actually yellow ochre, a very thin layer of yellow ochre.
Pre-sketch, it's just
freehand,
nice.
And so that even though it's something in front of me. I don't care whether it goes a bit awry,
Yeah, no, it's
because after all, changing things is what artists do, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm not there to tell the truth, and
No.
in any way whatsoever.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then you can build up the layers, or different ways of applying it, I suppose. But
Yeah.
I also, to begin with, when I learned, you're supposed to, if you wanted to do something, you'd leave a line where you wanted it something else. And I used to keep forgetting about the line and painting over it. And in the end, I just throw caution to the wind, get rid of the line.
Yeah.
That and so that was for me great introduction to loosening up in painting as well.
Yeah.
And not fretting about accurate lines.
Right. Yeah. Just sort of
I think that holds people back.
Yeah. What?
Or some people
trying too hard, possibly.
Yes.
Yeah. Just let it flow naturally, isn't it? Rather than adhering to a certain.
Yes, I think because this is to do with gaining confidence as well, and I think we mentioned confidence before, and I'd lost it, really had lost it. But this is also to do with gaining confidence, that you suddenly don't care about mistakes. You've got to not mind making mistakes, and I think not mind making mistakes in public. So what? And what's a mistake for one person is that's lovely to another as well.
Yeah.
And you've got to learn those sorts of lessons, I think.
Yeah,
and
watercolour's
a great way to do it.
It's taken me a long. It's probably taken me. I've been doing this 2.5 years professionally. It's probably taken me that long to realise that I do kind of know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
With people like yourself saying to me, "Yeah, that's good work," and "Oh, yeah, that's nice."
Yes.
And then it soaking into this dumb brain of mine.
Yes, but you must have had a good eye to start with, because your work relies on
your own work. I know I am. I'd never think, "Oh, that's brilliant." I'll go, "Yeah, it's a nice picture." But
yes.
It isn't until someone goes, "Wow, yeah, look at that."
Yeah.
And then I go.
Then you look again. Yes.
Yeah.
I always think there's got to be time between you and the work, in a way, and sometimes a year later I'll look at. So I don't usually throw things away for a while. Sometimes I do. That's embarrassing, in the bin. But I always think Michelangelo probably had a bin full of work that didn't.
More than not, I'm sure they went through just as much.
Yes, they must have made errors too.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
These masters.
Yeah, I can imagine their errors though. I bet even their errors are unbelievable.
Yes, probably. Yes, a touch better than my whatever it is, poultry effect, trying to get a hand or something. Hands are tricky, and so.
Can you draw people?
Sort of. I have been going to life drawing, not classes, a course. Actually, over at Lakeside, there's a guy called Jamie who has been running life drawing sessions. I mean, he's not a teacher, so I've been doing that for a couple of years.
Difficult people, aren't they, to draw?
Some of them, absolutely, yes, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and then you want to try out new ways or new media, whatever. So it's not. No, you have to work at it.
Yeah, no, stick people was about my level.
Yes, no, stick people. Yes, no, and sometimes I do end up with stick people, but I think you have to again let go of worrying about, is it the right light? Is that really is that knee really the knee that I'm looking at? Does it matter? So I work very hard at trying to get the proportions right. Which I think is fairly important. But then you can also start letting go of that. I mean, if you look at, I can't remember her name now, the woman who's in Margate and does lots of figures that people go, ooh. I can't remember her name. She's, never mind, we'll edit that out. But you can do figures in all sorts of ways. And again, as I said, errors don't. You can just change the line. You don't need a rubber. A lot of people are rubbing out. Not the way it was. But
just carry on.
Just carry on. Just draw over it. But anyway, Jamie is running these. I can't think of this surname now, which is awful. Can I look it up?
You can look it up. Yeah.
I've got to say who it is. Where has he gone? Thames life drawing. He's an actor. An actor, and unfortunately for us in the life drawing, yes, unfortunately he's been very successful in a play called Totoro, My Neighbour Totoro. I don't know if
yeah,
you've
I
heard
know.
of that.
Yeah, I
Yes,
have,
he's unfortunately, and so that's taken him away quite a lot
Yeah.
from doing what he was doing so well in running.
Yeah.
I mean, he still runs them, but it's all got a bit, sort of
Yeah.
messy to my mind.
Oh,
But,
wow, yeah, I know that. I've heard of
yeah,
that.
but, yes, no. So he's in that, and I've just read that's extending for another year, nearly, or half a year, which is quite unusual.
Well,
So,
that's not good. He needs to come off of that and carry on with your life classes.
yes, I wish I could.
It's all right. Yeah,
Let me look up here. I'll be in Jamie Zubairi.
right.
Zubairi, or Zuby as he likes to be called, but no one does. Well, Jamie. Anyway, so I was doing life drawing, and so yes, figures. But I'm still trying to get better at, and it's actually putting them what I do in these sketches. One, I could put clothes on them.
Yeah.
But I can actually then put them into some other work, and I tend not to do that. I tend to do it for its own sake rather than to find a use for it. Although I used to spend quite a lot of time on the underground, like iPad, sketching people sitting down on their phones or whatever.
You use technology and computers doing.
I do, but that's the sketching, and because you're doing people on the underground, of course, people get in front of them, they move, they catch your eye, they know you're doing it, they get very self-conscious. You get self-conscious.
Yeah.
They get off the train, so you've got to learn to be extremely quick.
Yes.
And again, a bit confidence comes into that as well, because you've got to capture what you want to do. And
I love the underground for that. It's a lot of
Course,
characters.
yes.
I've had a few instances where people go, "Oh, delete my photo."
And do you?
Okay, yeah.
You have to really.
I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
yeah. So I've never got that far as anyone actually saying, "Are you drawing me?" They probably feel a bit egotistical.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they'd probably like to see it. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no, yes, people do like to see your work.
Yeah. No, I couldn't do that. Sit there and
No.
be like square head and.
Yeah. Well, it is a bit. Because as I say, you get people move in front of them, they move away, they put their phones away or get the book out. So you've got to learn to work with that. And that took me a long time to learn to work with people changing their actions.
Yeah.
I mean, in life drawing, we used to complain, I remember a few years ago, that they'd come back from their tea break and they weren't in precisely that same position.
Just move 2 inches.
And you go, yes, and God, the whole class would take about an hour saying, no, that arm wasn't there. And you go, well, it was there from where I was.
Different angles and perspectives.
So I think that. And of course, I think people who've been to art school from young, and then I don't know whether they do these things naturally or normally, but for me, who hasn't and who didn't, and who had a very long gap in between doing one thing or another, I think these are lessons that are very important to.
There's a lot that can't be taught, and you have to learn it yourself.
Yes, absolutely, you do. Yes, you can't be taught, but I think you can be taught a lot.
Yeah.
And there was I'm going to mention her name, Julia Colmenares, who is probably still a really good teacher. And so remember, I complained about the attitude at Wimbledon School of Art.
Yeah.
And I think there's still that sort of attitude around now, because you get programs like the TERPS program, where they actually offer classes or sessions to artists to develop with the sort of feedback that's positive rather than knocking you down, because it's still, I think, so bad, or can be so bad at art schools. Now I've forgotten where I was going with that. I'll come back to it.
No, that's all right. No, man, we'll just meander along.
Julia, yes, Julia. So it was great to. She's at the Morley, and a superb printmaker and painter, and who's got very imaginative skills, and who will bring in her memory and her ideas and people and so on that she's drawn into her paintings. Strongly recommend looking her up and enjoying her art. And she taught. She actually taught on. It was, I suppose, a beginner's program, but that didn't matter to me. It gave me an impetus to go in and to produce work, and I've gone back into it. And you would not get away with not doing anything, not sitting at the back. And so her students, who some of whom were totally immersed already in art. There were people who were doing these beginner courses who already had degrees but had lost the confidence. Degrees in art, that is, had lost the confidence, and also complete and utter beginners in art who had never really, or may have dabbled here and there, but certainly knew nothing and lacked total confidence. Well, by the end of her courses, she wouldn't let you get away with that. You knew how to paint something.
It's
you knew how to draw
to teach
something.
off and imagine art. Really.
Well, there's so much to learn, you know. And planned it as well. So I'll just remove.
Nice.
Fly.
We've got some plants out there. I think little fruit flies
gathering
come
fruit
in
flies.
here.
Yes, no, we get fruit flies.
But, you know, I couldn't teach it. I can't teach photography. I mean, I've done the workshop and done the street photography workshop where we walked around here. And I just made out a few pointers, and then just go and take your photos. I didn't
take your photos. Yeah, I wonder if you that again might be a confidence thing.
Oh yeah,
planning is
I'm okay. Yeah, confidence. I'm not good at speaking with groups of people. I tend to.
No, it is something you develop.
Especially with people I don't know. When I've got a room full of people I know, I'm different. But with people I don't know,
it's gregarious.
I'm in the corner. I'm in the corner most of the time. But I think it's hard. Also, I don't want to direct somebody to what I would take. I want them to do it for themselves.
Yes, I think that's absolutely right to do that. Yes, you can't say this. It's a bit like people trying to say this is how you paint a flower in watercolor. If you're telling them to take what you take, but you can give them pointers. And you can show them a whole range of other people's photographs as well.
True.
And that to give ideas, I think, because not everyone's got the ideas.
Didn't think of that.
So it's quite a good thing to make. Yeah.
But would you teach? Have you taught?
Not art though. No, and it's a period of my life I don't really want to go into. What it does is sucks your soul dry. And as far as I'm concerned, I wasn't a great. I like my students. I like my young adults who were people get really young adults. But if you stick with young adults, they can be very good. And they can be bloody awful as well. But you know, that's a sort of a good group.
I've done a little while teaching IT.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. And I got on well with them.
Yes.
Like they were teenagers. And when I finished, they were like, "Oh no, don't go." And all that. I had a laugh. But I wasn't very good at teacher. Wasn't good.
All right, were you not? Yeah. No, that says I probably wasn't. But it was a bad time of my life anyway. You know, I just couldn't.
I messed about more than they did, I think.
Oh, right.
But it's so definitely teaching. Yeah. I suppose
you could have been better than you think you were.
Possibly, I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it.
Well, I think enjoying it's part of it, but not so much that you're not teaching anything.
No, I was also had trouble with the college I was teaching at. It didn't have the equipment.
Where was that?
Barking Down.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, that's very difficult.
I needed to do a sort of like networking course, but the equipment wasn't up to standard, so I couldn't teach it. I just had to say, "Sorry, go home."
Yes. No, that's terrible, isn't it? When that lets you down. And, a lot more other colleges have invested, I think, quite heavily in IT, haven't they? Way back in the
20, 30 years ago.
Amstrad ticking away. Oh no, it was terrible in the early days of computing. So good.
Yeah, I mean, what is it?
How's your elbow for even trying?
Yeah, it's because I've always been a technical person. That I always wanted to do drawing with computers, but at the time you couldn't do it.
Wasn't there, no.
So I'd done courses, and then the end of college went, would you mind taking a course? And so I did, and I fell into it. Really.
Yeah.
But
as so many people do in further education.
I think that's probably a good way to do it, rather than going through learning how to be a teacher, or possibly. I think
in a way you can go and teach the training courses and not learn anything at all. Well, you learn about planning and so on, and you get. But I won't go on about teaching.
Yeah, no, sure.
It's swallowed my soul. I haven't got a soul, but it's swallowed it. If I had a soul, it would have eaten it up.
I'm the same here. I ain't got a soul. I'm going downstairs.
Oh no, you too.
I'm going downstairs. But anything coming up? Have you got anything you're aiming for? Have you got exhibitions or anything like that?
Well, not really. I mean, that's what I'm aiming for, is to get back into some sort of zone, as they say. I also, by the way, haven't mentioned my curating. I did quite a fair amount of curating in 3D. And so I'm thinking now about perhaps it's about time I step back into three-dimensional work. I'm one of those problematic people who can have thousands of ideas buzzing through my head and then do nothing about any of them at all. And I know quite a few people of my kind.
I was going to ask you in a bit, but there you go. So
who buzz with ideas.
You've always got things going in your head,
so that's a problem area, I think. But curating was great, actually. I worked with a guy called Brett Banks, who's a stone carver and actually an educator as well. He's very good at passing on his skills to members of the public, and he's got a studio over at Camden, one of the Camden studios. And he and I did three times of an arts trail in Quaker House in Wanstead. They've got a burial ground at the back. And we put together people's work and did all the publicity and what have you. So that was great. So very good experience.
That's an art in itself, isn't it? Curating.
Curating. Yes, it's. I don't think it's a thing for people to go, well, I know how to hang things. But you've got to have a list. You've got to have drawing pins on your list. You've got to have glue on your list. You've got to have saws on your list. Whatever it is, you have to have a long list of everything you need, and then be extremely organised at producing things in the right way and so on, deadlines.
Yes, it's more it's project management, isn't it?
It's project management, herding cats sometimes, but I think putting yourself last as well, not putting your work first. If you're exhibiting at all in it, you need your duty is to the people that you're working with, actually, and put yourself last.
I suppose your job is to show their work in its best
possible light. Yes, I think so, and that's my strict rules anyway. And so we did that, and we achieved, I think, really actually quite well, the two of us. And I also put on actually using IT again in COVID, in the days of COVID. I put on a Facebook gallery called Art in what was it called? Art in the Virus. Art in the days of something like that. Anyway, and that was great fun because it's all done from home and very hard work again. Because Facebook's not the most wonderful of.
No, it's difficult. It's so much nonsense on there.
But that was quite. But I made enemies as well. By rejecting art. As a curator,
well, you're
quite easy
the
to
centre of it, aren't you?
Rub back. In fact, I was just going back to the Quaker thing. One of the things, I don't know how you are for time. One of the Quaker things, we had to give it up because they then gave over a lot of the ground to some other projects that we really couldn't do what we wanted to do with the sculptures. But that's one day I remember sort of jumping over this sort of bonfire and thinking, kicking ashes left, right, and centre. And then later on, I came along and there was this Quaker with a raking the ashes into the ivy. And I said, "What are you doing?" She said, "Oh, it was a cremation." Someone had so I'm a poor bloke. I think it was a bloke. I've been kicking his ashes left, right, and centre. Jumping over.
Oh well,
they weren't there yesterday.
Get you in my way.
So that's the joy of curating. You get those sorts of things too. But you meet good people as well. So that's the other thing. You make contacts. It's a bit of networking going on. I'm very bad at networking, but if you do that,
I'll try.
Are you bad as well?
Again, like I say, if I don't know no one, I won't approach them and stuff.
No,
It's
not easy, is it?
No. Once I get to know people, I'll chat away. But that initial.
It's the confidence again, isn't it? Confidence is so important in our world.
That's why I'm behind the camera and hate being in front of it. If I can,
oh, really?
If I can avoid it.
All right.
I'd just like a photo of me totally from the very beginning. From young and there's not many little kids' pictures of me. I didn't like it then.
No, I used to frown. I was a terrible child. For that.
I think I was.
Lots of scowling going on. Even the
Yeah.
school photographs,
Yeah.
big lot of scowling.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Confidence. I think I bury my confidence in my pictures. I think that is me. That's why I prefer people to look at that and
nice
don't look at
distance.
me.
Yeah, well, no harm in that, is there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd rather be behind all the time.
Yeah.
It's definitely. Oh yeah, you got any ideas of curating coming up soon, or do you just want to start getting back in?
I think no, not now. Although it does focus you in such a way. I mean, I was thinking of no, because I've got nowhere to curate for, and no one to curate in a way. So I think those days are past me. But I was just thinking, would I want to curate again? No, hard work.
Yeah.
And I've got other fish to fry, but the problem is, what fish have I got to fry?
Yeah.
Should I go back into installation? And thinking about your idea of confidence and how it's good to hide behind. If you're producing installations, you have to do that very publicly.
Yeah.
And you have to become a bit of a stage fan. You have
Yeah.
to become almost not quite the centre of the show, but
Yeah.
and I remember putting up an installation in St Pancras on the Euston Road. There's a big church there with columns and ladies holding up. I don't know what they're called, but I was in an exhibition there once, and the greatest thing was people passing by and talking about what you were doing. And I find that it's a shame you haven't been there with your video.
No,
making that into some sort of another type of installation, because that was super fun actually putting it out. The actual show wasn't so. Once it was there, it was a bit static, but it didn't move much. Well, the wind blew it around.
Got to get you painting and drawing again.
I think so, but what I've lost is a theme, or in a way a focus. And when I was doing my sculpture, my focus was refugees and global travellers.
Yeah.
And I did things like a huge welcome mat made out of beach rubbish, and I had lights flashing on, welcome on and off, and it was the dirtiest, scruffiest, revolting welcome, as we do give refugees. And think of all the stuff that's going on there. And so I had that, and for 2 or 3 years was well focused on doing work around beach rubbish and
a lot of
refugees. Well, unfortunately, on the beaches I've used, they clean them up, and so people go, "Isn't it great? They're clean," and I'm going, "No,
no, Well, where's all my materials gone to?"
And I used to find the most amazing. Some of it, I don't. What's that? And people go, "Well, that's actually a tampon holder." They weren't like that when I was younger.
Yeah, can I use it?
I remember one of the lecturers saying, "Perhaps wash your hands before you eat your sandwiches." Been in salt water.
That's right. As good a cleanliness as going to ever be.
So in a way, I wish I could find. I need to find something. I gave up on that in a way because it just became such a cliche.
Yeah.
Everyone was doing the refugees using bits of sacking and what have you, and I didn't think I had anything to add to the story.
Right, okay.
And so that was why I stopped there. And also, I wanted to develop my skills in painting and drawing.
Yeah.
I didn't know then that I could still do it from 40 years back.
Once you've got it, haven't you?
Well, I think so. And also, when you're older, again, you it's quicker to develop the confidence to not worry about errors and so on.
Yeah.
Well, for me it was, and so where I might have been.
You'd say that'd be the biggest tip you can give, not to be too stuck, to be more open with.
To be more open. I'm not hugely precious about. It's very difficult, isn't it? I meet so many people I know, lovely people, but they won't sell their work because it's precious, know. So some things, I would love it if someone offered to buy my work, they would be welcome. But doesn't happen.
I've seen enough of those. I want them gone now. I want the fresh stuff.
Yes.
Please buy.
Which is why I make cars, because nowadays, because it's the only way I can make money.
It's
people will pay $350 if they won't pay $200.
It's a hard job, isn't it?
It is, yes. Anyway, so I've got to go somewhere, and I really need to find something that I've lost. I think. And I'm sure this is a story for lots of artists over the years.
Yeah,
it's you know,
life gets in. Something happens. Life gets in the way a little bit.
Life gets in the way, and things get lost. And I think the important thing, from what I remember in Julia's classes, was these people coming back with their art degrees to beginners' classes in art, who actually could do very, very well, and they were rediscovering themselves. And I think that's important.
Well, I'll push you along if you need someone to push you. I want to see you painting again and drawing and stuff.
Yes, great.
Thank you. I will annoy you.
Do you want to finish there?
Yes. Thank you for talking. Well, thank you very much to Mary for an amazing conversation we had there, and learning all about her art and her beginning and everything thereafter, and all the stories of what goes on when you're an artist. What can I reflect on that? Yes, we spoke a lot about confidence, and I think confidence in artistry is difficult. Myself, I suffer from that a lot and still do. I find it hard to stand in front of a piece and wax lyrical about it. I'd rather other people do that for me. But you have to gain confidence, and you have to realise that, you do know what you're doing, and yet you are that good. But some of us can't express that. But anyway, enough about that. Please listen again to It's Art at the End of the Day in the next couple of weeks. I'll have another amazing guest discussing about their artistry and their journey in this wonderful world we have called art. So thank you. And that was It's Art at the End of the Day.